You want to know the most powerful thing you can do to improve your thinking? It's probably way simpler than you think. It's just starting a new note. Seriously, that single click or just turning to a fresh page in a notebook holds the key to unlocking a clearer, more creative mind. Let's dive into how that works.
We've all been there, haven't we? Just staring at that blinking cursor on a totally empty screen. On one hand, it can feel a little intimidating, like a void. But on the other hand, it's a promise, right? It's this wide open space for a brand new idea, a new project, maybe even a new connection. And that's exactly the tension we're going to dig into.
Okay, so first things first, why? Why do we even need that blank page to begin with? Well, it turns out our own biology is kind of working against us here. We all have this fundamental limitation, this cognitive bottleneck that makes writing things down not just a nice to have, but absolutely essential.
I mean, think about it. Our minds are absolutely brilliant idea generation machines. They are wired for creativity, for making these incredible spontaneous connections, and for spotting patterns everywhere. That's their superpower. But, and this is a big but, they have a critical weakness.
That's right. Your brain is a terrible, terrible filing cabinet. It's leaky, it's unreliable for long-term storage, and it gets cluttered so easily. Trying to use your brain like a hard drive is basically a recipe for stress and, honestly, a lot of lost inspiration.
And if you think I'm exaggerating, well, the science is pretty clear on this one. Research on what's called the forgetting curve shows us something pretty startling. We forget about 70% of new information within just 24 hours. That brilliant idea you had in the shower? Yeah, by tomorrow, it's probably just a vague memory, unless you got it out of your head.
Which of course leads us right to the solution. If our internal memory is so flawed, we need to build a better, more reliable external one. And this is the whole art of thinking on paper, or, on a screen.
This right here lays it all out perfectly. It's a trade-off. Our biological memory is super creative, but it's fleeting. An external note, though, it's permanent. It's searchable. That simple act of writing something down gives your creative brain a partner it can rely on, and it turns that cognitive weakness into a genuine superpower.
And this is the big mindset shift, you guys. Stop trying to become some kind of memory champion. The real goal isn't to hold everything in your head. It's to build an external system, a second brain, that you can totally and completely trust to hold it for you.
So, you're on board. You're ready to start writing things down. Awesome. But the next big question is, how exactly? I mean, from simple to-do lists to really complex digital systems, there are a million methods out there. The secret? There is no single best way. The right tool always depends on the task at hand.
Let's say you're in a lecture or reading a really dense book. For that kind of structured learning, the Cornell method is a classic for a reason. It's designed to make you actually think about the material, forcing you to summarize and pull out key questions as you go. And the result is you actually remember what you learned. But hey, what if your goal isn't just to capture information, but to create something new? Well, for brainstorming and just exploring the connections between ideas, mind mapping is unbeatable. It lets your thoughts branch out organically, which really mirrors how your brain naturally makes associations. And then, for those of you playing the long game, there's the Zettelkasten method. Just imagine, each note you take is one single atomic idea. Then you start linking these little atomic notes together, creating this incredible web of your own thinking. Over time, this web just grows and grows, letting you discover these surprising connections you never would have seen otherwise.
So at the end of the day, how do you choose? It's actually pretty simple. It all boils down to your goal. Are you trying to learn from stuff that already exists? Are you trying to create something brand new? Or are you trying to connect your ideas over the long term? Your intention is what's going to guide you to the perfect tool for the job.
But what happens when you start combining these methods? When your individual notes start talking to each other, connecting and growing? Well, you're not just taking notes anymore. You're actually building something so much more powerful. You're building a second brain.
I love this quote because it just nails the core idea. A good note-taking system isn't some dusty archive where your ideas go to die. No way. It's a living, breathing garden. You plant these little seeds of thought, and with just a little care and connection, they can grow into these incredible things you never even saw coming.
And building this garden, it's not as complicated as it sounds. It's really just a simple 4-step loop. First, you capture ideas, get them out of your head fast. Then, you organize them in a way that your future self will thank you for. Next, you distill them down to their absolute essence,
And finally, you express your knowledge by actually using it to create something new.
And why does any of this matter? Because the benefits are, honestly, life-changing. You reduce all that mental clutter and the anxiety of trying to remember everything. You allow your subconscious mind to surface these amazing, surprising connections. You seriously accelerate your ability to learn and create, and you get this quiet confidence that you will never, ever lose a good idea again.
And that brings us right back to where we started. That simple, humble act of creating a new note is so much more than just a fleeting action. It's foundational. Every new note is like a single brick, and with each one you lay, you are building the grand architecture of your own personal knowledge, your external mind.
You see, this system, it's ready to learn from you, to grow with you, and to help you think better than you ever could on your own. It's just sitting there waiting for you to begin. So the only question left is, what are you going to teach it first?